This video is about a game I've written in 1996. At that time I was very familiar with Amiga Basic and Quick Basic. I was starting learning C++. At school I've learned a lot about intersection of vectors and planes. There I thought, okay, let's use this knowledge to make it more interesting and use it for something. And so I thought, let's program a 3D game. The game itself is very simple. This red car is going along the green road, and you have to shoot the yellow and blue opponents, basically. And in order to do that, you have to collect some items like this shield and different weapons. And what's also important, to slow down, because each time when you shoot something, when you achieve goals in this game, the speed is increasing. And once the speed is very high, you barely can react anymore and control the game. So you have to decrease the speed somehow. And there are some special items where you can decrease the speed, and it's very important to react to see the items and to grab them, basically. So that's a game. At that time I had already a little bit experience with game programming, in particular two-dimensional games. You know, you have to get all these things running, like having a little model, game logic, getting the graphics running, maybe double buffering, and the sound graphics and user input has to run at the same time in one thread, as in my case here in Quick Basic. So there was some little knowledge about this game programming already. But what was new to me is to have an idea about the 3D model, and most importantly and most challenging was to project this 3D model on a two-dimensional screen. Yeah, but I thought I have learned it already in school, right? Vector intersection with planes. It should be possible to use this knowledge, and it was possible, but my solution was not efficient enough. It was too slow and I couldn't play the game in real time. So I asked about my teacher, and he was very supportive in the beginning and wanted to help me with that. He was lucky that somebody is interested in his lectures, and but maybe he ran out of time or something like that, and he signaled me that he can really help me with this. However, I was looking up newspapers. I was looking through my compact discs from newspapers. There was programming stuff included, which helped me a lot in the past, but I couldn't find anything. Of course, I was in the libraries, my local libraries, and it was 1996. Internet was not available at my home, and I in order to go to the internet, I needed to visit a public room. It was only available on Saturdays, and this public room, there were six computers with Windows 3.11. So by the way, here's such a slow down item, which is very important to collect in this game. So back then there was this public internet room, which was available only on Saturdays for 1 hour. And there was a small fee that everybody had to pay, 6 places, one ISDN line that we have shared, or 2 lines maybe that we have shared. And so it was very, very slow. But however, I could make my investigation there, and of course we were chatting with other people over the world, not only make any investigation. It was really interesting to go to the internet, let's say. And so after roughly 3 sessions, I found a solution, a tutorial and an explanation how to implement a thing like that, to make this 3D projection on a two-dimensional screen very efficiently. And I tried it, I implemented something like that, and after all that I could play my game fluently in real time on a 486 computer. And I was very, very happy about that. Not about having this game then, but moreover to find a solution and learn how it works. That was quite, it was a lot of fun to develop this game. And at the time there were already better games, of course, and even after that I found there were of course better games in Quick Basic, but for me it was my personal challenge, let's say. And the key message from this, after years later, 2 decades, I found that challenges like this helped me a lot to become an engineer that can stay focused for a long time and solving one problem after the other. And this was something that helped me to maybe become a better engineer later. And it was fun. So thank you for listening. I hope you found this story interesting. Stay tuned.